Hello, dear students. This is Sarita Arora, your social science teacher. I welcome you all in virtual classes initiative started by Shask Namji Girls School Sirsa. In the last session, I have discussed with you about third chapter of history, nationalism in India. To summarize, we have discussed about the meaning of nationalism and about non-cooperation movements. Now, I will explain to you about the civil disobedience movement. In the last session, we have done about the calling of non-cooperation movement because of Chauri Chaura incident. When non-cooperation movement was withdrawn, the people became too much disappointed. Some leaders wanted to participate in elections to the provincial councils that had been set up by the Government of India Act 1919. They argue that it was important to oppose British policies within the councils. If they will sit there, they can oppose the policies. But Gandhiji refused. Then C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru formed the Swaraj Party within the Congress to contest election. They were not separate. They haven't have Congress. They live in between the Congress, but in between they made some new party which was called Swaraj Party. But the younger leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, they want to take complete independence. In these days, world face economic depression which you have read in junior classes. Because of it, agriculture prices became half from 1926. Now the peasants have to pay so big rents and taxes. Colonial government refused to decrease the tax. So peasants were in such a situation, they found it very difficult to sell their crops. So country was in a very bad condition. At that time, the Tory government in Britain, because they were ruling on us, they sent the Statutory Commission under Sir John Simon in November 1927. Which we mostly call Simon Commission. I think you have heard about it also. Why they sent this commission? To that commission will suggest some further reforms. But this commission had 7 members, but no member was Indian. All the 7 were Britishers. So Indians' hopes became failed. They thought they will not give justice to them. So when the Simon Commission arrived in India in 1928, Indians welcomed it with the slogan mean Nara, go back Simon. Complete Hartal strikes were there. Wherever Simon went, he was welcomed by black flags carried by thousands of people. Then the police take brutal repression. In Lahore, Lala Lajpat Rai came to met his death because of the injury triggered public anger. Then the Congress leader got too much angry. In December 1929, they thought they would not give them freedom. Then on December 1929, on the banks of the river Ravi, the tricolor flag of Indian independence was unfurled. In 1929, in Lahore session of Congress, they passed a demand for Puran Swaraj. Puran Swaraj means complete independence, now they will not demand for Swaraj or only interim independence, they want to take complete independence. So the Lahore Congress under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, they decided to celebrate 26 January 1930 as an Independence Day every year. So on 26 January, people all over the country, they have taken pledge for complete independence. Then Gandhiji gave a call for independence. Mahatma Gandhi found that salt was a very powerful symbol that would unite the nation. Then Gandhiji, on 21st Jan 1930, he sent a letter to Lord Irwin, who was the viceroy or head of colonial government in India, sent him by stating 11 demands. Some of these demands are like reduction of land revenue, less tax. He chose salt as a symbol of unity of the nation. Why did he choose salt? Because salt is consumed or used by rich and poor people. The tax on salt was increased 1,000 times. The common man found it very difficult to meet the demand of salt tax. So, Gandhiji's letter had stated that if these demands were ignored, then they will start civil disobedience movement. Civil mean in under the law, यानी कानून के अंदर जो लॉज इंडियंस के अगेंस्ट थे, उन्हें इंडियंस क्या करेंगे, उन्हें अब वो डिसओबे करना स्टार्ट करेंगे. But Lord Irwin, he didn't want to talk with Mahatma Gandhi. So Gandhiji started his famous Salt March. 78 followers walked with him. On 12th March 1930, they started their march. They started on foot from village of Dandi, Gujarat, 240 miles, which is from Sabarmati Ashram. Indians from making thousands of people came to hear Gandhiji's wherever he stopped on the way. On 6th April, he reached Dandi, a village in Gujarat. He violated the law manufacturing salt by boiling seawater. So the civil movement, disobedience movement started. People manufactured salt and demonstrated in front of the government salt factories. As the movement started, same like non-cooperation movement, again foreign cloth was boycotted, liquor shops were picketed, peasants refused to give revenues, chowkidari tax. Again the students boycotted government-run schools, colleges, teachers also boycotted school colleges. In many places, the villagers broke the forest laws, going into the reserve forest to collect wood and graze cattle. When the colonial government seen this, it started arresting Congress leaders one by one. Then, in Peshawar, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan and Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, all were arrested. Then people in anger in Sholapur, that is in Maharashtra, they went on strike. They burnt liquor shops, railway station, law courts, police stations, municipal buildings. Then government also adopted policy of repression. Peaceful satyagrahis were attacked and even 1 lakh people government put into jail. When Mahatma Gandhi listened about this, he again decided to call off the movement. He signed the pact, Gandhi-Irwin Pact, on 5th March 1931. What is pact? It is a compromise or समझौता, यानी उन्होंने लॉर्ड इरविन के साथ compromise कर लिया. According to this compromise, Gandhiji agreed to attend the second roundtable conference in London, and in return, or Lord Irwin, he want to release all the political prisoners. When Gandhiji came back from the second roundtable conference, he became so much disappointed because Abul Ghaffar Khan, Jawaharlal Nehru, they were still in jail. Congress was declared an illegal organization. So he felt very bad. Then Mahatma Gandhi again started the civil disobedience movement. But this movement then continued for a year, but it came to an end in 1934 by itself. Now we will see how participants or social groups saw the movement, how they have taken part in these movements. First one we will see in the countryside. In the countryside, the rich peasants like the Pattidars of Gujarat and Jats of Uttar Pradesh, they take actively part in this movement. But because of depression, economic depression, they found it difficult to pay the government revenue demand. The rich peasants but the government refused to decrease the revenue, land tax. Then the rich peasants became the supporters of the civil disobedience movement. Why? Because they meant Swaraj, a struggle against high revenue. But when the movement was called off, revenue demands were not revised. So when again it was restarted in 1932, many of them refused to participate in the movement. Now about poor peasants. Poor peasants had rented the land from landlords. Rented the land mean उन्होंने rent पे ली हुई थी उनसे land. They wanted only the unpaid rent to the landlords to be remitted. Mean उनका rent माफ कर दिया जाए. But the Congress in many cases did not support the no rent campaign of the peasants. Why? Because Congress leaders thought if they will talk with poor peasants, then the rich peasants and landlords would be set up. So, because of this, the relation between the peasants and the Congress spoiled. In next point, we will discuss about the business classes. How did they relate to the civil disobedience movement? The business class participated in the movement. They went to jails and accepted the hardships under the colonial rule. Some individuals, they gave financial support to the movement like G.D. Birla, Purushottam Lal Thakur Das. There was also a large number of small traders and merchants who joined it. They formed the Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress in 1920 and the Federation of the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries in 1927. On the other hand, civil disobedience, they clearly saw the utility of the movement in getting cruel concessions for their classes. They thought if Britishers would leave them, then there would be no restrictions on their business and their business will be flourish without any restriction. It means Swaraj for them. But after the failure of the Round Table Conference, they were now no want to join them. They did not want the spread of militant activities and disturbance of their business. Then about industrial working class. Workers stayed separate. Some workers participated in the movement also. The railway workers, the dock workers, they participated. In 1930, several Chota Nagpur tin miners, they participated in the rallies and boycott campaigns by wearing Gandhian caps. Now we will see what was the participation of women in civil disobedience movement. The women, They participated on a large scale. During the short march, thousands of women came out their houses to hear Gandhiji's speech. They participated in protest march. They manufactured salt. They picketed in front of the foreign goods shops and liquor shops. Many ladies went to jail also in those days. In cities, mostly ladies were of high caste families, and in rural areas, they came from rich peasant households. But the position of women was not changing that. Gandhiji always think that the primary duty of women was to look after the house and the family. Women must be good mothers and good wives. So we know the Congress hasn't given any high position to women. So students, I think it is enough for today for you. Today your homework is read page 62 to 67, means 62, 63, 64, 65, 66 and 67. And for any query, you can call me. Thank you. Have a nice day.